Now it's like feeling like winter and I need to have lotion like at all my desks in the house. Otherwise, my hands will turn into little raisins. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a chatty get ready with me and reflect on all the stuff that happened in 2023. Kind of like a little mini year in review. Because I was talking to Alvin the other day and we were talking about something that happened in January and he was like, that happened this year? Because it felt like eons ago. This year has both felt like it flew by and also it has felt incredibly long. So I thought it would be fun to take some time now at the end of the year to kind of take a deep breath, look back, and see everything we did this year. So let's talk about the first few products I'm going to be using before we jump into my notes, because I actually went through and I looked through my Google Calendar and I took notes of like what happened, not every month, but every big month, and I've got quite a few notes. So before I forget to talk about some of the makeup products, let's just go through them real quick right now. So for primer, I want to use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base because I've been feeling extra dry and I feel like I just need a bit more moisture, especially today because I'm about to pre-film like quite a few videos and I might be doing my makeup twice because if you don't know, I do my makeup just about every day and then sometimes when I have big filming days, I'll actually do my makeup twice. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Purito BB Cream, Cica Clearing BB Cream in shade 13 Natural Ivory. I just picked this up for the first time a couple of weeks ago and I've been really surprised at how nice it looks and how like skin-like it looks. So we'll be using this for foundation today. And for concealer, I recently went back and tried out an old favorite of mine that I haven't tried out in years. And it's the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer. And I got shade Fair Neutral. Previously, I used to be shade Light Warm, but that is way too dark for me now. Foundation, concealer. For eye primer, I'm just going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Sin. The eyeshadow palette is going to be my Pan That palette. I'm not going to show it on camera just because I don't want to spoil anything right before the finale. For eyebrow gel, I just got the Got2b Brow Gel. And then I think that'll be good for now, and then I'll talk about the rest of the products once we get there. So what I've been enjoying as far as like makeup application lately, I've noticed that I really like to put on whatever foundation I'm wearing kind of on like the top third of my face and do my brows and then do my eyes and then go in and do the rest of my face just because I've really liked leaving the majority of my face like not set with powder or dewy, and it's just so much less cleanup if I do my eye makeup like before I do the rest of my face. But then I noticed that it was kind of hard to go around my eyebrows after I did my eyes, so this way of doing it just makes a lot of sense in my brain. So I smooth it out on the forehead and kind of bring it down to like around here, but not too much further. And then I'll do the brows and then I'll do my eyeshadow. Oh, for brows, I'm also going to use the Kosas Air Brow in black. So while I do my brows, let's start off with January of this year. And that's actually what Alvin and I were talking about a few weeks ago. We were talking about the travel disaster we experienced in January because a relative of ours just had like almost the exact same thing happen to them in October. And we were talking about it and Alvin forgot that was like this year because it felt like forever ago. But also it happened like early January. So I don't blame him or fault him for forgetting that it was actually this year that that happened. So for those of you who didn't see it, I did do a full Storytime video. I'll throw that up in the cards. But we were supposed to go to a family wedding in Oaxaca, Mexico. And to cut a long story very short, we ended up getting stuck in Dallas, Texas for 36 hours because we flew out on the one day that the FAA, like an important FAA system, completely went down. And this system has not gone down once in like the 60 whatever year history of the FAA. So it was like the first big ground stop nationwide since 9/11, and a lot of plans got ruined and we never made it to Mexico. So we got stuck for 36 hours in Dallas. We had to sleep like on the floor of the airport and it was honestly a terrible experience. Thankfully, we got home without too much extra problem. But then that's when we caught COVID for the first time. We caught COVID in Dallas. And so instead of spending 2 weeks having this great vacation in Texas, or not Texas, so instead of spending 2 weeks having this great vacation in Mexico, we instead spent it recovering from COVID at home, sick for 2 weeks. So yeah, I had the whole story time, I'll throw it up, but it is kind of crazy to think that that's where this year started, and then that really informed the rest of the year. Thankfully not all for the bad. All right, so since today is a filming day, I feel like I can go a bit brighter with my colors. So I'm gonna use like the green tealy shades from the palette and do like a dark green kind of smoky eye thing. So yeah, so in addition to not making it to Mexico, getting COVID, coming home, recovering, and that's the first time we caught COVID. Thankfully, the only time, knock on wood, that we've ever had COVID, because we're very careful, especially because Alvin works at a grocery store. So we have to be very careful about things, especially working with the public. But that was also the same week our closet like collapsed. Like legitimately, we had like these wire inserts for the closet, and while I was sitting in bed drinking tea, I just heard like boom, boom, boom. And our entire closet just fell apart while we were sick. So that was fun. But that kicked off our next apartment project. And then I got to build the closet of my dreams, and I love the closet so much more now. I'm so happy with how it came out. So I also have a whole video on the vlog channel about how it collapsed, what we did. Alvin ended up building a custom insert for his side of the closet, and I just bought something nice off of Amazon to use. But that was a great example of like turning lemons into lemonade, not the other way around. In addition to starting that closet project, I feel like that kind of kick-started a lot of the other projects we did this year, because like this was the year of refining the apartment, because I feel like we've got like everything we needed, right? And then what I wanted to do was spend some time, save up, and then like upgrade the furniture. So it wasn't like the hand-me-downs. It didn't feel too big or too small for the space. We really wanted to like get stuff that fit the space perfectly, especially because we knew we were probably going to be here for at least a couple of years. So we really wanted to perfect the space and get like matching furniture and be very mindful about what we were getting as well, so that we knew anything that we bought or brought in, we could then transfer either to another apartment or to a house. So the next month, well, I think I'm skipping, I think it was in March, we did the office. So we completely redid my work from home side of the office. If you did not know, the room that I'm in right now, we're in a 1-bedroom apartment. The 1 bedroom we actually turned into the office. So this side of the room is this whole YouTube setup with my vanity and everything. That side of the room has my work desk and all of my textbooks and everything, because I do work a full-time job, 9 to 5, and I work completely from home. And that has been the biggest quality of life improvement for my job. It's been incredible having such a nice, dedicated space to work in. That was also the month that my little brother moved out of state. He got a really good job with TSA, actually, and then he moved down to North Carolina. My dad and my stepsisters also live down there, so he's closer to that, like, nuclear immediate family, though most of our extended family is up here in Jersey and also down, like, in Florida. But yeah, it was really nice seeing him, because I think it was his first time moving out, like, without family. He's, like, 5 years younger than me, so it was nice seeing him get to like spread his wings and like move out for the first time. And it was really fun getting to see him like experience all of those first apartment things for the first time, because he also didn't go to college, so he didn't really have the dorm experience either. So I was happy that he finally got to kind of move out, have his first apartment. He had friends as roommates, so I was very happy for him that he got to finally have that experience. I'm going back and forth on whether or not I want to add another shimmer to this. I'm kind of thinking maybe I do like a Stila Glitter and Glow or something really bright on the inner corner and like leave the lid as is. That cleaned up so nicely and I love how that looks. So now I'm gonna go in for the rest of my face with the BB cream. So I've heard Taylor Wynn talk about this BB cream like pretty off, like on and off throughout the years, and I never really tried it because I thought I had like a bunch of other BB creams that I like I love the Misha BB cream, and the e.l.f. one is actually really nice. But I think I was on Amazon and this happened to like pop up as a recommendation, and I was curious and I just grabbed it to try it out, and I was so impressed at like how skin-like it looks. And it's actually a pretty decent like shade match for me, like right out the bottle. Like it's not 100% full coverage, I can still see like my birthmarks and stuff coming through, but it just evens out my complexion and it looks so pretty. So moving into April and May of this year, I had some pretty big work changes happen. My job late last year did a pretty big reorg, so a total reorganization. So a lot of people were let go, a lot of teams were reorganized. So like the way the whole company was structured under VPs and everything, they changed like everything. People were laid off, entire teams were kind of rebuilt, and they like moved everyone around. And for a while, my department, which is a pretty small department at the time, it was only like 3 people. We kept getting bounced from like team to team to team because no one really had any idea where to put us. So for a few months between like late 22 to like April, we were bouncing around, didn't really know where we were gonna end up, and we still had to like continue operations as usual. But in May, we finally landed with like, in my opinion, like the best spot we could have landed, which was in the IT portfolio. My portfolio is pretty adjacent. It's the professional trades, technical trades, and it was just a much better fit. Like, we now have a much larger team that can support us. We, like, just everything, like, fit into place. So while those 6 months of being kind of in limbo were, like, a little, like, anxiety-inducing and just odd, it was 100% worth it because we ended up in like the perfect team. And what happened is that we joined the team right before they were having their first big offsite meeting since COVID. Normally, I think they would do one once a year before COVID. So we, with like a week's notice, my manager and I flew out to Indianapolis to meet our entire new team, like 50 people, back when we were coming from a team of just like 3. So that was also like kind of a spur of the moment. You got a week, pack, get ready, go, do your job. Like, it was, again, pretty hectic, but it was such a nice change. And it's been a few months, 6 months since then, and the team has been nothing but gracious and amazing. And I've loved going to work now because we have the support of the whole team behind us. Whereas previously it kind of felt like it was just the 2 of us like treading water trying to get stuff done. So since I'm going with like the really dark kind of green eye, I didn't really want to go in with like a super like red, blushy, corally blush. And I just looked through my collection. I don't think I own a single like beige blush, which is kind of what I was picturing would look really nice here. I want a blush. Well, let me see. Do I have any bronzers? No, the bronzers are too dark. Yeah, you know, I'll just have to like maybe keep my eye out for a blush. So I think we're going to skip blush today. But for bronzer and contour, I'm going to use these 2 sticks. I've really liked using them together. So this is the Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick in, I'm pretty sure it's the lightest shade. Yeah, light medium. So I take the bronzer side and I color up here towards like the high of my cheekbone, and then with the NYX Wonder Stick, also in Fair, I take the contour side and draw that down in the hollow of my cheek. And I blend it together using this brush from Reefer. This is the 24, and they blend together really nicely, especially with like more lighter coverage kind of BB CC creams. And it gives me just like that nice definition, like look at the 2 sides, and color. It's so pretty. And I'm still testing out all the Reefer brushes. I have more on the way because I bought some during their Black Friday sale. And I'm excited to try out more of the face brushes because the eye brushes have been okay so far, but I've actually been pretty impressed with the face brushes. So in May, I flew to Indianapolis for a week-long work trip. I moved to a whole different department. I think then summer was pretty, thankfully, chill, except outside. The weather was terrible. It wasn't as hot temperature-wise as last summer, but this summer, I don't know what happened. It was hot, but like the bugs, I swear, I saw more bugs this summer than I've ever seen in my entire life. The bugs were mutant this summer, and I don't know what the heck caused it or what happened. I got stung by a yellow jacket for the first time ever. And thank God it was a yellow jacket and not a bee, because both my grandmother and my father are allergic to bees. So I also need to get like a EpiPen to keep on hand because Alvin's allergic to shellfish that we found out recently. And I've got a known family history of being allergic to bee stings, so we should have that around. But that's beside the point. The bugs were mutant. There was at one point too, I don't know if it was a wasp or a yellow jacket, got in through this window into the office. I panicked. Oh my God. It was like literally like I was on edge all the time. I was stressed. There's nothing that gets me more than just bugs, especially bugs inside. Bugs outside, I can kind of sort of deal with. Bugs inside, no. Nope, I had a panic attack. But thankfully it wasn't too busy because we were able to take some time out to plan for October. So September was doing a lot of prep work, a lot of family events, a lot of errands, a lot of appointments, because in October we eloped. So I still can't believe that we're actually like married now. Whenever I call Alvin my husband, it feels like I'm pretending. I'm taking the Rare Beauty liquid highlight in the shade Enlighten, and I'm applying it with a brush because this highlighter, I've noticed, it doesn't blend out nicely. If you like dab it onto your face and then try to blend it out, it tends to stick and look weird. But I love the tone and I love the color. So I find that using a brush for this is the best way to go, because I've tried also blending it out with a sponge and it tends to also like stick with the sponge and not look as nice. Since I didn't do blush, I might do a little bit on the tip of my nose. So we are married. It's so fun getting to call ourselves the Perez Kims now, even though I'm the only one changing my name. Alvin offered to change his name, but he didn't really want to go through all of like the paperwork because it's a pain in the ass to change your name. And I'm only like just starting the process now. But my new last name is Perez-Kim, and I just can't wait. Like, I'm so impatient now to get my name actually changed because I really want to go by my new name. But it takes like months to change your name through Social Security, and I gotta go to the DMV. I don't want to go to the DMV, but I do gotta. But it's so nice to have been able to do exactly the ceremony, the elopement that we wanted. Because I don't know if anyone else has done like a post-COVID wedding, but it is so different now trying to get married and do like if you want a big wedding, it is so much more expensive and so much more difficult to get that done now than it was pre-COVID. So Godspeed to anyone who's trying to do the big wedding, because it's probably even more hectic than it was before. Thankfully, we were able to elope, but our first choice, like we wanted just to go to the courthouse and get married, but because of COVID, our courthouse, our local like town hall, stopped doing weddings. So we had to do the elopement, or we would have had to go to like the Newark City Hall, and I don't want to get married at Newark City Hall. I just don't. So since I'm going to be filming a few videos after this, I'm going to go into the waterline with a bright white eyeliner. This is just the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, because I want to look bright and awake. And honestly, the white eyeliner looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life. In real life, it looks pretty stark. While I do the lower lash line, let's talk about November and December. So that brings us now to November, December. We celebrated Thanksgiving with my side of the family. They were actually really nice and got us like a little mini wedding cake since we eloped and we didn't really have a wedding cake. And we just ate a lot of really good food and had a nice barbecue pit, fire pit outside, and it was just like perfect. So now I'm actually pre-filming this like the first week of December because Alvin actually has to work overtime for the first 2 weeks of December, starting right after Thanksgiving, because for the first time, again, since before COVID, his parents are going back to South Korea. So his mom's side of the family is all still mainly back in South Korea, whereas his dad's side of the family is all here in New Jersey. And both Alvin and his little brother were both born and raised here in Jersey. So before COVID, his mom used to go back to Korea once a year just to like see family and spend time with them and go shopping and just enjoy being back in her home country, because they immigrated here, I think it was the late 80s is when they came over. She hasn't been able to go since COVID, so I know they're really enjoying it right now, and in their absence, Alvin and I have to pick up the slack. He's picking up the slack at the store because it is a family-owned store, so he has to be there for 12-hour days while they're out, and I'm picking up the slack around the house. Editing Monica jumping in here because I realized I forgot to mention I also got called to jury duty in between the elopement and Thanksgiving. So that also caused quite a bit of hassle because I had no idea how I was going to get to the courthouse. I was going to have to Uber. I had to take days off of work. So I ended up serving half a day for the orientation, and it was virtual. So thankfully, I just literally sat here and did the virtual orientation, which was a hoot and a half. And then I was dismissed before I actually had to go to the courthouse. So
win for me, but that was another layer on top of all the end of year stress that we were having.
It's actually part of the reason that actually encouraged me to attempt Vlogmas this year, because I figured with him being gone 12 hours a day, either I was going to have a lot of free time and not know what to do with it, or I was going to be so busy I would burn myself out. And I'm hoping we're gonna see, but I'm hoping it's going to be the former. Because I figured Vlogmas would be a really nice way for me to document our first Christmas as a married couple. And also to keep me like busy and occupied while he's working late every day, just so that I'm not sitting here waiting for him to get back.
Editing Monica here in the thick of things, it's been 50-50.
So I just used the bright shade from the highlight, or from the palette, as my inner corner highlight, and I kind of like how that looks. So I think I'm going to do a little bit on the brow bone too, just to like tie it all in. So what's left in December? We have both of our birthdays. Both of our birthdays are the same week as Christmas. We're both Christmas babies. I am turning 31 and Alvin is turning 33. I am one step closer to being a 32-year-old lady.
Welcome back to being a 32-year-old lady. Welcome back to another very boring and domestic 32-year-old lady video.
I miss Jenna so much. I gotta go back and like re-listen to some of their old podcasts or something. So this is how I've been leaving like my foundation and everything lately. I just set this with setting spray and then I just leave it throughout the day and it looks really nice. So for my setting sprays, I'm using the Milani Make It Last and the Scandinavia Makeup Finishing Spray in Bridal. This is the only time I've actually bought this, was for our elopement. I bought the mini travel bottle specifically to go with me. If I haven't already mentioned this fan in a favorites video, I'm sure will be coming in the next one, but this is the most powerful hand fan I've ever tried. It is amazing. It's a little pricey up front, but it's like the best makeup fan I've ever used, and also it would be like a really good just like regular handheld fan. So I'll have to add it to my Amazon storefront if it's not there already. When I placed that reefer, whatever, I still don't know how it's pronounced, order, I also got this eyelash curler. I actually bought both of their eyelash curlers because they were shaped a little bit differently and I wanted to try them both out, and this one just fits my eyeball like perfectly, like a glove, and it is the 20R. And it's just the curling iron lash curler of my dreams. It's black, it's got the red accent, it fits my eyeball perfectly, and I feel like it curls the lashes so nicely. I like this better than the Shiseido one that I've had already, and I also tried out the Tweezerman one. I didn't like that one as much either. This one, I'm in love. And I never really thought that like the curling lash curler can make so much of a difference, but it really truly does. And I do not have a Reefer affiliate link or code. I wanted to buy everything myself to try them out, since like everyone and their mother has been sent PR and sponsored, and I was just curious to see whether it was worth the hype or not. And this is the final look and our final look back at 2023 before the new year. I feel like this has been like the busiest year of my life. And while a lot of bad things happened, a lot of great things happened, I'm excited for our next chapter. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below how your 2023 was, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.